Welcome to Movie Caps, spoilers ahead and take care. Today we are going to start the movie Point Blank, which came in 2019, which is an action thriller movie, and lead roles are Anthony Mackie and Frank Grillo. At the beginning of the movie we are shown a house in which a tough shootout is going on. A man comes out of the house and starts running, who is chased by some goons. By the way, the name of this man is M. Guerra, who is running away with a pen drive. After this, he runs away and calls his brother Mateo and asks him to get him out of here quickly. But then a car blows up Abe, leaving poor Abe in such a dire situation. Actually, Matt had also come till here, but he does not want to get into trouble with the police, so he leaves his brother lying on the road and leaves from here. After this we are shown a man named Paul Walker, who has returned home after a day's work. Well, Paul is a nurse and Paul's wife Taryn is pregnant. After this, Paul and his wife Taryn start watching the news, in which news related to the murder of District Attorney Joshua Gregory was going on. After this, we are again shown the house in which the shootout took place, and this house belongs to District Attorney Joshua, who is killed in his own house, so the case is assigned to homicide detectives Regina and Eric. Looking at them, it seems that both of them were good friends of the district attorney. After this, Eric tells Regina that this district attorney has been killed from close range. However, investigation has revealed that Joshua shot his attacker at least once. That means the killer might be currently undergoing treatment in a hospital in the city. Then a policeman reports to Eric that some patients have been admitted to 2 hospitals in the area tonight. Especially a guy named Guerra who got hit by a bullet, but his real injuries was in a car crash, and the special thing is that the accident happened just 2 blocks away from here. So on hearing this, Regina and Eric guess that this is him. Since he is the main suspect, these people quickly start going to the hospital. While Paul goes to the hospital for his night shift, where Paul is given the job of taking care of Abe, and while Paul is reading the charts of the Abe, a goon comes here and beats Paul badly. Well, this goon is none other than Abe's brother Matt, but then he runs away from there after hearing the voice of some other person coming. After this, Regina also reaches the hospital, who starts interrogating Paul as to who attacked him. But due to darkness, Paul could not see Matt's face clearly, so he could not tell any specific details to Regina. On this, Regina tells Paul that tomorrow Abe will be transferred from here. Until then, you have to keep an eye on him. Then Paul asks what Abe did. Then Regina tells that Abe killed District Attorney Joshua, who was a good man. After this, Paul returns to his home. But Matt comes from behind and knocks him out, and when Paul comes to his senses, he gets a call which was actually from Matt. Matt tells Paul to get his brother out of the hospital without anyone noticing, or else I will kill his wife. Paul gets very scared after hearing this. Next morning, Paul reaches the hospital so that he can take Abe out of the hospital. So he starts preparing for all this, and then he goes to Abe's ward and takes him out from here on the pretext of getting his x-ray done. But a policeman is chasing him, so Paul makes him unconscious by giving him a shock, and then he gives Abe a dose of morphine, due to which Abe regains consciousness. By now, Regina and Eric had also reached the hospital so that they could transfer Abe. Then Eric tells that Abe's full name is Abraham Guevara, who works with his brother for a big gangster, whose name is Big D. By the way, these 2 brothers owe a lot of money to Big D, to repay which they both work. After this, both of them go to the Abe ward and see that he is missing. Seeing this, the policemen get alerted, and then they quickly start checking the CCTV footage of the hospital, in which they see Paul, who was taking Abe. Then these people start going in the direction of Paul. Now Abe has regained consciousness, so he climbs on Paul. Then Paul calms him down and says that your brother has my wife. I just want to save her. So hearing this, Abe leaves him, and then both of them go to the parking area and leave from here. After this, Paul tells Abe that your brother has kidnapped my pregnant wife, and if anything happens to my wife and child, I will not leave both of you alive. But Abe is quite surprised to think how his brother can kidnap a pregnant woman. After this, Abe calls Matt and says that he is free. By the way, keep Paul's wife safe, otherwise I will break your leg. Here it becomes clear that he is not such a bad man, because he also makes Paul talk to his wife. The Matt tells Tyron that big lady, I am sorry, I am helpless. As soon as my brother is found, I will let you go. Please believe me. On the other hand, Regina asks Eric what connection the Guerra brothers have with the district attorney, that they killed the attorney. Then Eric tells that Matt was charged, for which he was going to be sentenced to at least 10 years. So when he went to his night duty house, he made a deal that he would give such evidence to district attorney which was related to the corruption taking place in the police department. This evidence was in a kind of pen drive which Abe has. But there was something in that pen drive that many people did not want to let come out, so they first attacked the district attorney. Then they started hunting Abe. But guys, after hearing all this, Regina was quite scared instead of being suppressed. Be it or not, this lady also has a hand in corruption. By now Abe and Paul should have reached the windshield of the pickup bus, where he was going to meet Matt and Tyron. But by now the police had declared Paul and Matt wanted, so some policemen started keeping an eye on them. But the strange thing was that instead of catching him, these policemen wanted to kill him, which when Paul realizes that it is a trap, they go to the extent of firing a bullet in the air, which creates a stampede here and it is beneficial. These people would have run away from here, but the Matt car is recognized, so the police chase him. Due to which a fierce car chase starts between them. But somehow Matt gets out of here. Whereas Paul and Abe had covered a long distance on foot. But when they are attacked, Matt, even in his injured condition, attacks the goons. But on searching it comes to light that this man is a policeman and now Paul is very confused as to why the policemen are trying to kill him instead of catching him. And these people steal a car and leave from here. But the policemen soon find them, causing a heavy car chase between them, so both of them ditch the car and leave on foot. On the other hand, Matt was treating Tyron very well, so Tyron does not understand that Matt is not a bad person, so why is he doing all this? Now here, some policemen follow Matt and find out his base. After this, Matt goes to the base and puts the evidence and pen drive in a bag and hides it in the van. At the same time, Abe and Paul meets a man named Cheetah, then looking at the cheetah he says that why you have come here, the policemen and criminals are all after you. I don't want to get into this trouble, so Abe says that I had helped you once and now you have to help me, then out of compulsion, Cheetah get convinced and Abe demands a car. Unaware of the fact that Paul has also caused a huge mistake. Well, Paul cleverly tells Detective Regina his current location, then when Regina and Eric start going out of this cheetah, he sees Paul talking on the phone and he realizes that Paul has done something fishy. He says that your wife will be punished for this stupidity of yours. Now I will not leave you and your wife alive under any circumstances. But then Regina and Eric arrive and start shooting at them. Well, now Regina is under suspicion because she killed Cheetah without hesitating, who was just a normal bar owner. After this, Regina's man starts searching John. Now they are searching Abe for a pen drive, but they does not find anything near that one, so he asks Regina whether she will prove any murder case by killing all the people present here like you killed District Attorney. That means, Regina got killed District Attorney, instead of one because it was found out that there was a deal with an attorney, who could ruin Regina and her police knowledge, so she got attorney killed. At the same time, she put the blame of murder on Abe. After hearing all this, Eric also understands the whole matter that his partner is a corrupt cop. Then Regina kills Eric without any delay. But then the police come, then Regina loudly says that they should kill Paul and pretend that Paul and Eric have been killed by Abe and as for the owner also. But as soon as Regina leaves, Paul takes Eric's gun and kills John. Now poor Paul has also become a cop killer. After this, they steals a car and leaves from there. When Regina comes to know about all this, she gets completely furious and then she messages her men to kill Matt and also kidnap Paul's wife. The policeman who chased Matt finally reached his base and they works for Regina. Then as soon as they gets the order, they enters in the base and beats Matt badly. After this, when Abe and Paul reached base, Matt was on the verge of death. But he was still breathing and then he died. Abe was very sad to see that his only brother was killed. After this, he starts stitching Paul's wound because in the run his wound had not been healed yet. Then Abe asks Paul, "What will you name your baby girl?" Then Paul does not give him any answer, so he says that those people have killed my brother and now I will kill all of them, so for this do and die situation Paul also gets ready. Because Paul is a husband who is soon going to be a father, and a man can do anything for his family. After this, they find the bag in a van which contained the pen drive and the whole problem is due to this pen drive. Other side, Regina man has taken Tyrone to Regina. But now Tyrone has started having stomach pain. That means, the baby is about to be born, but Regina is very cruel who comfortably watches a pregnant lady suffering as if she doesn't care. On the other hand, Abe and Paul reaches Big D house, where they wants to kill a person on sight. He tells Big D that I do not have the money to repay your loan, but I have an evidence pen drive, which is evidence related to corrupt policemen and there is no such crime, these policemen might not have done it. All types of crimes like murder, rape and robbery have been committed. He says, well, in front of all of them, you are as much as a child, so if you handle this well, you can become very rich, so he agrees to the deal for the pen drive. After some time, Paul gets a call from Regina, who tells Paul that you are going to have a baby. But in this situation it is impossible to make delivery here. Anyway, my appearance forces me to kill your wife soon and get pen drive. Well, even the senior officers don't leave anything behind. That means I am not a leader. I also work for a corrupt officer. So Paul, be a good boy, bring me the pen drive, otherwise your wife will have to be delivered here. That too without any support. After this, Big D asks Abe what happened. "What is your quarrel with your attorney?" He replied that the police were going to trap my brother, so I had gone to deal with district attorney, so that he can get freedom for my brother in exchange of evidence. But I had no idea that Regina and the other cops were keeping an eye on the house and district attorney all the time. So when I was at attorney's house, I came to know that attorney was already dead. But then suddenly the policeman attacked me, so I had to run away from there, and since then I have been running away from the policeman, and because of me, Paul's pregnant wife is also trapped, so Big D asks him when the baby is going to deliver. On which Paul tells that now. After hearing this, Big D hearts become soft. After this Paul asks Big D, "Do you have a child?" Big D replies, "Yes, all 8. Because of which I am quite famous, and perhaps that is why I am called Big D." After this, the Big D takes his car to the police station, where she creates such a distraction by blowing up a car that it takes the attention of the policeman. As the car explodes and the ambulance and fire brigade arrive at the spot. So Paul and Abe have changed into a police officer and a nurse, so that they can take advantage of this opportunity to go inside, and they succeed in doing so, where they go inside and take Regina at gunpoint. But then Paul hears Taryn's screaming voice, where a policeman was trying to kill Taryn by strangulating her. Then Paul angrily attacks the policeman, and when Paul gives this policeman a heavy dose of morphine, he dies. Then Abe takes Regina inside and then steals a camera in which video was captured, when Regina killed the cheetah and Eric. After this, Abe goes out and gives the camera of the murder incident to a reporter and says that if its video is played, your channel will become popular. After this video related to Eric's murder starts running on the news channel, due to which Regina gets exposed. The policeman went to Regina and killed her. Paul gets the baby delivered at the base of the police station. After this, we are shown another scene after 1 year, where Paul is celebrating his daughter's first B-day. Then Paul gets a message from Abe, who is wishing a big wish for the baby, so Paul takes a picture of a big cake and sends it to Abe. Where Abe come to know that Paul has named his son after his brother's name, Mateo, which make him very happy to see this, and with this scene the movie ends here. Thanks for watching.